Good morning, children. Yesterday we discussed main points which have been covered in first part of Glimpses of India, that is a baker from Goa. Today we will do the explanation. Uh, First, let us see what activity they want you to do. What images of people and of places come to your mind when you think of our country? Our country is, we are lucky rather in this way that our country enjoys a varied culture. Different sorts of dresses, dishes, and places of natural beauty all are there. So we can think of anything. What parts of India have you lived in or visited? Can you name some popular tourist destinations? So when we talk about popular tourist destinations in India, I think no one can skip Goa, as it is the most beautiful beach state rather. You may know that apart from the British, the Dutch and the French, the Portuguese have also played a part in the history of our country. These all people ruled our country for some time. Can you say which parts of India show French and Portuguese influences? It is Goa. Goa shows that. Can you say which parts of India grow tea or coffee? Tea is basically grown in the eastern states of India. Coffee is from the southern states basically. First part is related to Goa and the industry of bakery in Goa. See, this is a pen portrait of a traditional Goan village baker who still has an important place in his society. So from this tagline of the chapter, theme of the chapter becomes clear. The theme, after writing this article on the part of the author, is to show the importance of a baker in Goa. Our elders are often heard reminiscing nostalgically about those good old Portuguese days. Nostalgically means when you remember something with fondness, when you feel that that time was better than today. Reminiscing, remembering. So elders often remember of the days when Goa was ruled by Portuguese. The Portuguese and their famous loaves of bread. So why do they remember? Why do they remember Portuguese days? Or what are they nostalgic about and why? They are nostalgic about the Portuguese days because of the tasty bread loaves. Those eaters of loaves might have vanished, means might have disappeared, but the makers are still there. Means bakers are still there. We still have among us the mixers, the molders, and those who bake the loaves. Those age-old, time-tested furnaces still exist. Means those people who used to eat loaves of bread with a special fondness, they may not be there, but still Goa is famous for its bakery. The fire in the furnaces has not yet been extinguished. Means those furnaces which bake bread loaves are still working. The thud, the sound and jingle is also jingling sound. Thud and the jingle of the traditional baker's bamboo, heralding means welcoming, announcing his arrival in the morning, can still be heard in some places. There are some places in Goa where you can still hear the sound which is created when a baker comes. Maybe the father is not alive, but the son still carries on the family profession of bakery. These bakers are even today known as Padar in Goa. So this first paragraph has told us 2 or 3 important things, that Goa may not be very vibrant about bakery now, but it is still there. More importantly, as compared to other states. And baker still has an important place in society. They are known as bathers. During our childhood in Goa, this paragraph seems to tell something about his childhood. The baker used to be our friend, companion, and guide. So this point can be used if we ask you the question, what is the position or what is the importance of a baker in Goa? That he is friend, companion, and guide. He used to come at least twice a day. Once when he set out in the morning on his selling round, and then again when he returned after emptying his huge basket. So how many times did a baker come to the houses, particular houses, when the author was a child? 2 times. In the morning to sell the bread, and in the evening after emptying the basket. The jingling thud of his bamboo woke us up from sleep, and we ran to meet and greet him. So means children always welcome the baker. Perhaps they are waiting for him. Why was it so? Why were we so impatient to greet him? Was it for the love of the loaf? Not at all. The loaves were bought by some Beskin or Bestin, the maid servant of the house. Obviously, he has come to sell his loaves of bread, but they will be taken care of by the servant of the house. We were not interested in the loaves of bread. Then what is that in which children were interested? What we longed for were those bread bangles which we chose carefully. Sometimes it was sweet bread of special milk. So second paragraph has told us that children used to wait for the baker for what? For the sweet bread and for bread bangles. The baker made his musical entry. Now this paragraph, though we have already got some clues about his entry, time also we have got to know, and that he brings a bamboo stick, and thud, and that was jingling also, and thud, that deep sound was also caused. And I think this paragraph will tell you more about the entry of the baker. The baker made his musical entry on the scene with the jhang jhang sound of his specially made bamboo staff. Staff means stick. One hand supported the basket on his head and the other banged the bamboo on the ground. I hope you can visualize this image. Baker is bringing a bamboo stick, and with one hand he is balancing the basket in which loaves of bread were there, and with the other hand he is striking his bamboo against the floor. One hand, okay. He would greet the lady of the house with good morning and then place his basket on the vertical bamboo. We kids would be pushed aside with a mild rebuke, and the loaves would be delivered to the servant. Means he comes in the morning, and the lady of the house attends him. Lady wants that the kids should be at one side so that they should not disturb. But we would not give up. Give up is a very common phrase. I hope you know its meaning. Stop trying. So we would not stop trying being near the baker. We would climb a bench or the parapet and peep into the basket. Somehow, I can still recall the typical fragrance of those loaves. Loaves for the elders and the bangles for the children. In the previous paragraph, we have seen that the children were interested in bread bangles. Then we did not even care to brush our teeth or wash our mouths properly. And why should we, who would take the trouble of plucking the mango leaf for the toothbrush? So he's telling that in those days, these clinical toothbrushes were not used. Natural toothbrushes were used. And why was it necessary at all? The tiger never brushed his teeth. Hot tea could wash and clean up everything so nicely after all. last 3 or 4 lines of the paragraph are showing that the children were so impatient to take those bread bangles that they did not even care to brush their teeth. I hope you are clear about these 3 paragraphs. Let us see these questions. What are the elders in Goa nostalgic about? We have already discussed. The elders in Goa are nostalgic about the Portuguese days of Goa, when people were very interested in the loaves of bread. Second, is bread making still popular in Goa? How do you know? Bread making is still popular in Goa, but how do we know? We can't answer this part right now. For that, we will have to read the remaining part of the chapter. So wait. What is the baker called? This we can answer. A baker in Goa is called a pedlar. Fourth, when would the baker come every day? Baker would come twice every day, first in the morning to sell his loaves of bread, then in the evening after emptying his basket. Why did the children run to meet him? The children ran to meet him for the bread bangles. Right? One part is left. This we can answer after reading the remaining part. See, we will complete the chapter today only. It is short. Next paragraph is answering this part which we have left. From next paragraph you will get 3 examples which will show that bakery is still popular in Goa. Marriage gifts are meaningless without the sweet bread known as the ball. Just as a party or a feast loses its charm without bread. Not enough can be said to show how important a baker can be for a village. So one example has been given that marriage gifts contain, along with other things, what is the necessary component of marriage gifts? Sweet bread, which is known as ball. So one example. Second, the lady of the house must prepare sandwiches on the occasion of her daughter's engagement. Second example, that when a girl is being engaged, then her mother must make sandwiches for the guests. Then, cakes and ballinghas are a must for Christmas as well as other festivals. So, third example, Christmas and other festivals are not complete, their celebration is not complete without cakes and ballinghas. Thus, the presence of the baker's furnace in the village is absolutely essential. So I hope you must have understood this paragraph and you can write these 3 examples for this answer. How do you know? The baker or bread seller of those days had a peculiar dress known as the kabai. It was a single piece, long frock reaching down to the knees. So this is about the dress which bakers or pedlars in the old days used to wear. It is a single piece frock type of dress reaching up to knees and its name is kabai. In our childhood, we saw bakers wearing a shirt and trousers which were shorter than full-length ones and longer than half pants. Even today, anyone who wears a half pant which reaches just below the knees invites the comment that he is dressed like a peddler. So, 2 types of dresses have been mentioned here which bakers used to wear. Last paragraph now. The baker usually collected his bills at the end of the month. Monthly accounts used to be recorded on some wall in pencil. So at the end of the month we generally pay to our milkman or paperman, but means things which we are regularly using. It means people are using bread so regularly that they do not bother to pay the baker on daily basis. They used to pay them after a month. And where are the accounts recorded? On a wall. Baking was indeed a profitable profession in the old days. The baker and his family never starved. He, his family and his servants always looked happy and prosperous. So So bakery was a very flourishing profession in olden days. Their plump physique was an open testimony to this. Testimony means proof. Their plump physique means they all were on the fatty side. Not very fatty, but they were all on the fatty side. That shows that they are comfortable with money, they are earning nicely. Even today, any person with a jackfruit-like physical appearance, means a little fatty appearance, is easily compared to a baker. He is called a baker. Now, match the following. What is a must? As marriage gifts, sweet bread called ball. For a party or a feast, cakes and ballinghas. For a party or a feast, bread. For a daughter's engagement, sandwiches. For Christmas, cakes and ballinghas. What did the bakers wear? In the Portuguese days, when the author was young. In the Portuguese days, that single piece frock type of dress, and when the author was young, this is bakers wearing a shirt and trousers which were shorter than full length ones and longer than half pants. Who invites the comment? He is dressed like a peddler. Anyone who is wearing a long half pant. Why? Because this dress was worn by bakers. Where were the monthly accounts of the baker recorded? On a wall in pencil. What does a jackfruit-like appearance mean? It means a person who is on the fatty side, who is not thin. And it shows that he eats properly. So you will write these 5 plus these 4. These 9 questions will be written in your notebook. Rest of the questions will be discussed tomorrow, and we will also discuss summary or the main points of the next part of Glimpses of India. That is, next part is Kurg. Kurg is the name of a place. So obviously this is about, as in this chapter we have read about the pen portrait of a person, here we are going to read the pen portrait of a place, Kurg, right? Thank you.